At the end of 2016, we set off for Nepal to trek to Annapurna Base Camp. On arrival in Kathmandu, we enjoy a night at the sumptuous Dwarikas Hotel, which affords a few hours of luxury before we set off into the mountains. The next morning it's back to the airport for a short flight with Yeti Airlines to Pokhara, Nepal's second largest city, 120 miles west of Kathmandu. There we meet our guide for the trek, Mek Bahadur Gurung, and his team of porters, and board the bus which will take us on a 1-hour drive to Lumle, the starting point of the trek.
Oh,
Cloud, yeah.
Okay.
We just joined, but little bit.
It's really at the back. Yeah. And this one, no one's allowed to climb.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is a holy mountain. People said Shiva got this, but yes.
The bus stops briefly, so we catch our first glimpse of Annapurna South, the 6th highest peak in the Annapurna Massif, as well as Machapuchari, or Fishtail Mountain, one of the gates to the Annapurna Sanctuary, our ultimate destination. On arrival at Lumle, we are all introduced to our personal porter, who will carry our red trek bags for the next 12 days. The weight of each trek bag has been limited to 15 kilos, but we did not expect each porter to carry 2 bags, plus his own belongings, all the way to Annapurna Base Camp and back. We set off, inspired by the views over the Pokhara Valley and with the ever-present peak of Machapuchari guiding the way. Within an hour or two it's lunchtime, and we stop to eat our packed lunch at the Mara Lodge.
Small steps. There are steps, but they are a bit shorter steps, and some might be a bit longer steps. So please be careful. Okay, if you feel a bit more difficulty, you can walk sidewise. It's better.
The trail leads us to a suspension bridge over the River Modi, which will be following almost all the way to Annapurna Base Camp.
Thank you.
Over here.
You see it? That's you. That's you going wee. They're nice pictures, aren't they? Thank you. Wunderbar. There we go.
By 3:30 we have arrived at our destination, the well-appointed Sanctuary Lodge, with neat rows of terracotta-coloured lodges set out in a well-tended garden. It's November the 14th, the night of the supermoon.
Hello, how are you?
There was a plug socket very high up in the bathroom.
Tea was brought to our rooms at 6:30, with breakfast at 7. By 7:45 the bags are packed and we set off on our trek to Gandruk. The walk is estimated at 5 to 6 hours, during which we shall climb from our current altitude of 940 metres to just over 2,000 metres at our destination.
I think those who have been in Nepal for other times. Yeah. So what do you call this one? Stupa. Okay. Chautari. So we can sing a song. In the Chautari, I made a group from in my people, if they want to do something meritorious, they make a sautari like this. They want to spend on the payment that is beneficial to everybody. So I can read something. So okay, so here, so see. So in the memory of the deceased parents, the son has built this chautari. The Bodhi tree, not one tree, this is Bodhi tree. Bodhi, I don't know if you're studying.
We will meet later.
It's good.
Yeah.
Well, I have low blood pressure. Do you think that will work too?
I think you shouldn't take that.
These are bitter.
Chili.
Yeah.
Special bird, bass bird.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
These are soya beans.
Soybeans. Much better. You don't want to be with us.
I can just say, beautiful mountain.
Yeah.
40 minutes later, we reach a T-junction and a major mule route between Gandruk and Dampus to the south.
Just there.
Well, congratulations.
We arrive at the outskirts of Gandruk village at 12:45, but it's a further 20 minutes before we get to our destination, the Himalaya Lodge.
Well, 20 past 1. So maybe what time you like to have now? Maybe around quarter to 2? Quarter to 2 is okay? Yes. Yes.
I thought we had lunch.
There was emergency lunch.
I'll skip lunch.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can take some soups.
The remainder of the day is at rest. But at dinner, momos, or Nepalese-filled dumplings, are on the menu tonight, so Mek persuades Chef to come and give us a demonstration.
So see, Shano is making the momo.
It's 7 a.m. on day 3 of the trek, and at the Himalaya Lodge we awake to a splendid view of Annapurna South, set against the backdrop of another cloudless sky.
Was that my mind?
We face a 5-hour trek to Chomrong. At an altitude only 230 metres higher than Gandruk, it sounds fairly gentle, until one realises this involves climbing 310 metres to Komrong, before descending 450 metres to Kimrong, and climbing a further 370 metres to reach our destination. We have learnt an important rule about using the paths. Mules and oxen always have right of way. We arrive at Komrong for a breather. The sun is shining and we get a great view of the mountains and the path we will take around the valley towards Annapurna.
See the blue roof. This is the left corner. Today.
Whoa!
So we have to die with that hill.
Be brave.
Not find that
Tunnel to the mountain.
Oh, in extra 3.
Yes.
Could you not just get a helicopter?
There is then a steep descent through the forest to the Kimrong river crossing. At Kimrong we stop for the usual lemon and ginger tea with sugar to keep our energy levels up. There are now lots of trekkers about, clearly a popular staging post for the trip to the sanctuary. And then it's uphill once more for the 400-metre ascent to Chomrong.
Beautiful age.
And where do we sleep tonight?
Chomrong.
Chomrong.
Yeah.
Chomrong.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
By 3 p.m, we have arrived at the Chomrong's Excellent View Top Lodge, although we're not quite sure whether excellent applies to the view or the lodge. Day 4, and the early morning schedule comprises tea at 6:30, breakfast at 7, and departure 7:45. No lying in around here. You might miss the sunrise over Annapurna South. Today's route takes us to Dovan, which, at 2,600 metres, means an ascent of 430 metres over the course of 5 hours. True to form, however, the first hour takes us straight down 200 metres to the suspension bridge over the Chomrong River. After crossing the river, we head steeply upwards to the small settlement of Sinua Danda. Next stop is Kuldigar, where lemon and ginger tea is again on offer.
Thank you.
This meant salad, fixed menu today.
Yeah.
Having already climbed to over 2,500 metres, we descend 200 metres into a bamboo forest before climbing again to the appropriately named settlement of Bamboo.
So we are almost ahead of the estimated timing. Yes?
When they say this,
After that, it's only another 90 minutes climb to 2,600 metres and the Dovan guest house. We're told it's only a short walk today to Durali, so we enjoy a leisurely departure at 8 a.m. However, the map indicates we are climbing another 600 metres to 3,200 metres, where the effects of altitude normally begin to appear. We climb up through the bamboo forest and are treated to the sight of some longur monkeys.
Sorry?
The sun makes a welcome appearance as we leave the Himalaya Hotel at 2,900 metres. We pause for breath at the so-called Hinku Cave, a massive overhanging rock and natural viewpoint. By 12:30 we have arrived at the Shangri-La Lodge, where we will be staying the night. Trekking is over for the day, so there is time to relax, enjoy the scenery, and what's left of the sunshine. Today, our objective is Machu Picchu Base Camp at an altitude of 3,700 meters. It's been a cold night, and in the absence of sun, the air temperature is noticeably cooler than usual.
If I did, I will let you have one. I've got a list of photos to ask you for.
Thank you. So we went back.
For the first time, we get a good view of Annapurna 1.
That played for Chelsea juniors for 3 years when I was a kid, from 15 to 18. I was,
Okay. So that they can just immediately wash and clean it and dry them. If they have
oh, lunch.
There is time to take a short walk up towards the sanctuary in the afternoon. It's the final ascent to Annapurna Base Camp. We leave Fishtail Lodge and climb the last 430 metres to the sanctuary. The sanctuary is a glacial basin, an oval-shaped plateau surrounded by the Annapurna Range, and the only entrance is the way we have come, the narrow pass between Machu Picchu and Hyunchuli, an extension of Annapurna South. The area was sacred to the Gurung people, who believed it was a repository of gold and various treasures left by the Nagas, the serpent gods known in India.
Make your pose look.
Magic potion tablet. Yes, I got the tablet, thank you. It's on the wall. Oh, that's okay.
After seeing the sunrise over Annapurna 1, we leave our lodge at base camp and head back down the mountain.
Resam piriri. Resam piriri. Resam piriri. Oh, I need it. Resam piriri. Resam piriri. 2 times. Resam piriri. Resam piriri. Udera jonki.
Udera jonki.
Dada ma bhanjang. Dada ma bhanjang. Resam piriri. Resam piriri. Resam piriri. Hey, udera jonki dada ma bhanjang. Resam piriri. Okay. Resam piriri. Hey, resam
It has taken us 2 days to trek here from Durali, but a mere 2.5 hours to do the return journey. Everyone's attention is suddenly focused on some blue sheep far up on the mountainside.
Blue head, ready.
By the end of the day, we are back in the excellent view guest house at Chomrong, which we left 4 days ago.
But it was just nice not to have to worry about going out into the car and putting a jacket on. So, and I did get some sleep. I didn't sleep all the way through.
Those spots in the middle of nowhere. Ready? In the middle of some jungle. Someone sticks and disappear into the forest.
Doe maar je tasje bij mij op.
Trying to sell you some drinks in plastic bags.
Geeft helemaal niks, joh.
This morning we take a different route out of Chomrong. We have an option to visit the hot springs at Jindanda, although only Heather and John take up the offer. The rest of us head straight for tonight's destination, Landrung. Heather and John catch us up later.
Baby's in here.
And we all enjoy an early lunch at the New Bridge restaurant before crossing the Modi River once more and ascending gently to Landrung at 1,565 metres.
Pigeon.
Nikki is persuaded to take part in some local millet bashing.
Oh, no! You have to hit harder. 3 times. Let it hit. Suru!
Suru!
1,
Why?
2,
Okay. 10 times, okay. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19,
I can do
5,
better.
6. Okay. Yes, well done. Okay.
That's 100 rupees, please.
I will keep it there. Thank you. Okay.
We finally arrive at the bee lodge, where the facilities offer a welcome return to civilization.
When you come back home, it will be just before you.
Always ahead of
So I'm like a doggy in the front.
You're going to be the doggy. Go on then. Woof woof.
The penultimate leg of our journey will take us to the Gurung Lodge at Majgaon. But first, we have to brave our most precarious suspension bridge yet.
It's the fact that you tread on it and it moves that I... The bamboo is still under
The final day involves a short walk back to Lumley to catch the bus to Pokhara.
Sweetie time! So that's the last of the sweeties. So you're spreading this out, please. And I just want to say big thank you from Norman and me for your always smiling and always happy, always there to help us carry our bags, pick us up, come very slowly with Tracy and me.
Here, here.
So,
Superstar.
and for carrying us over.
Superstar.
Very important.
So it's just an eye on the temperature. Just a little, so you remember us funny people. And thank you very much.
23 degrees Celsius.
23.
Yes, very good.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your great support. You take care of everybody. Well done. Thank you.
Back in Pokhara, having said a fond farewell to our hard-working porters, we arrive at the Fishtail Lodge, the city's oldest established quality hotel, situated on the lakeside and accessible only by man-powered ferry. Finally, it's back to Kathmandu for a farewell drink and the famous 9-course Nepali banquet at Dwarika's hotel.